Hello everybody and welcome to Against the Fence. This is the place to be if you're obsessed and passionate about the UFC, of course, and I'm back with a tough review. Hope you're all doing well. Episode 5, we're back to the heavyweights, and we have got for you Bobby Maximus, who is 5-4 of Team Peña, and Carlos Eduardo, who is 4-1 of Team Nunes. Again, let's switch to the side screen for you guys. And let's get this first fight up. Let's get straight into it. I'll talk about this fight quickly, and then we'll get onto the show, all right? So, the fight that's happening, these two gentlemen here. As you see there, Bobby Maxwell. He is 43 years old. There's a great story to this guy. He was on Season 2 of The Ultimate Fighter, okay? All the way back, Season 2. That's crazy. Team Hughes he was on. Is this his last run? Is it going to be? Is he going to make it to the final? Obviously, that dream of being heavyweight champion, that's what he says he wants to be. Can he do it? So I'll leave that there for you guys, because that's the fight that's happening. But let's get onto the first show. Let's get onto the show, sorry. As I've left the fight there for you guys, the show didn't start about these two, okay? The show started off with Team Nunes' Catherine Paprika, questioning Team Nunes' game plan going into a previous fight, which I did the breakdown for that fight. That was the last show. So she lost that fight, and she was questioning Nunes' game plan going into this. So remember me telling everyone that Nunes is not a good coach? Am I eating my words or not? No, I don't think I am, because I've said Nunes is not a great coach. Yes, she's an absolute amazing fighter, but as a coach, does she dial into the fighters' techniques and what they need to do? And as Catherine goes on and on throughout the show and moans about it, she's questioning Nunes' tactics. Again, apparently Nunes told Catherine not to throw any kicks, not to throw any knees, but let me hold you there. Again, that could be to avoid a takedown. But what's your opinion on that? Do you tell a fighter not to throw kicks, not to throw any knees, not to throw any head kicks? Do you tell your fighter not to do that, just to be wary of the takedown? Do you? Do you not? Let me know. What's your thoughts on that? Like, if it's me, you're worrying about what your fighter's game plan is going to be, not what your opponent is. You've got to make your fighter fight their fight, not fight their opponent's fight. That's just my opinion on that matter. As we know, Nunes has left her current camp to make her own camp, and she wants to get into coaching again. Wrongly or rightly, getting this decision wrong or right, as I said. Does she have one foot out the door of the UFC, wanting to get into coaching again? I don't get it. I don't get the decisions that she's making at the moment. She's not very vocal in the corner, as I've mentioned plenty of times. Not vocal at all. Let me hear your thoughts on that. Again, that's how the show started, with Catherine moaning about Nunes' tactics. And fair play to her. She actually went and sat down with Team Nunes' coaches, sat them down. She aired her thoughts out. She said them out loud to Nunes and her team. Said, listen, I wasn't really happy with the game plan you had for me. I want to fight the way I fight, by throwing kicks, throwing knees, mixing it up. Again, that's what you want to do when you fight. You want to mix it up. You don't want to be one-dimensional. You want to mix it up. But that's my thoughts on that matter. I've said from day one that Nunes isn't that great of a coach. Is she going to prove me wrong? Who knows? Who knows? But anyway, that's how the show started with that. And then they get their all-important training sessions in. As I said, we've got them two heavyweights there. Bobby Maxwell, as I said, was on Season 2 of The Ultimate Fighter. Crazy, crazy, crazy. All the way back in Season 2. And he didn't win his fight in The Ultimate Fighter, but the UFC did give him a contract, believe it or not. Believe it or not, the UFC gave him a contract. He did go 1-2 in the UFC after getting cut, and he has not fought since 2009. Guys, come on. He's not fought since 2009. What's going on there? Like, and he wants to, like, fair play to him. He wants to have one more run at this. He says that he took time off to be a father. Fair enough. I get that. I'm a father myself. You want to spend time with the kids. I 100% get that. But apparently, one day he looked into his son's eyes, his firstborn, and says, look, listen, I want to get back into fighting again. I want to fight for these kids. And fair play to him. He's got back in there. Season 30, don't want to fight, historic one. He wants to give it one more run into it. As I've said before, what they do is they dive into the background of the fighters. They dived into Bobby Maxwell's background. He owns his own gym, which is fair enough. That's where he trains. He has locals come in there and train with him, help him out. But that's where he dives into his training sessions back home. Owns his own gym. We move on to Eduardo then. He trains at AKA. Trains at AKA, ladies and gentlemen. So, again, he's got some decent fighters behind him. Obviously, he mentioned like the likes of Daniel Cormier from time to time. He did mention him. But what got him into the sport was his grandfather. A grandfather inspired him to get into the sport. By all means, again, that's sometimes how it happens. Your family dive you through that road. But that's who got him into the sport. Again, he trains in AKA. Again, great camp to be at. Great camp to be at. As you all know, fighters got to go into make weight, which is what you want to see. Again, no mishaps there. Then we dive into the fight. Let's get cracking. So, let's dive into the fight then. So, as I said, Bobby Maxwell, 43, against Eduardo, who's 27. I will say again, remember what I've said before about Peña being a decent coach? Again, diving into Bobby Maxwell. Sorry, not Peña, sorry. Nunes diving into Bobby Maxwell, sorry. Sorry, Eduardo Perez. I do apologise. Who's going to get the win on this one then? What do we think? Do we think that it's going to be one more run for Bobby Maxwell, or is the young gun in Eduardo Perez going to get it? Let me tell you. Let me tell you, guys. Let me tell you. He had a very successful round, did Bobby Maxwell. Let me tell you. Look at this. He had a very successful round. Straight away, all guns blazing in that first round. Getting the takedown, getting in full mount. Controlling Perez. Controlling him. He did so well. It's got the takedown within the first minute of the fight. Got the takedown. A little bit of ground and pound. A little bit of softening up. Got into full mount. Now, these are heavyweights. So usually a heavyweight should be able to control his position. But Perez made his way back to his feet. Made his way back to his feet, okay? And then, again, piecing him up, he was. Piecing him up. So Eduardo managed to switch the position round, and he was the one landing ground and pound. What happens? He gets the finish. The first round finish. Eduardo Perez gets the first round finish on Bobby Maxwell. Okay? What do we say? Hey? What do we say? And there's Bobby Maxwell done there. What can we say about him? Is his time up now? What do we reckon? He had success in that first round. We got to give it to him. He had great success in that first round. Just couldn't control Perez, though. Perez being strong, getting back to his feet several times. And let me tell you, Perez is a dark horse because his jab is lightning. He was doubling up on his jab, tripling up on his jab against Maxwell. Maxwell just couldn't stand with him. Just could not stand with him. Honestly, Perez is a dark horse in this heavyweight division. I've said from day one that I want to go for Usman in this. But let me tell you, like this Perez has got great takedown defense. His jab is unreal. He's got good takedowns himself. But the takedown defense is key. He's got a great jab. His jab is unreal. You're gonna have to watch the episode to see. He was lighting him up on the feet, lighting him up. Let's have a little look. Welcome in, Oliveira. Fuck my bet. Oh, did he? Oh no, you went for Bobby, did you? I didn't know you could bet on the Ultimate Fighter, could you? Oh wow, you bet on him to be champ? Really? I didn't know you could do that on the Ultimate Fighter. Might have to start doing that now and have a little bet on the old who I think is going to win the show on heavyweights and who I think is going to win the show on the flyweights. But yeah, you've dived me in on something there, let me tell you. Let's get rid of these pictures for you. And as I said, getting the first round finish. That's all she wrote for. What do we think about Bobby Maxwell? He's 43. He even come out after the fight and said that he had success and that he wants to. He said because he had that success, that he may want to carry on. What do we think of that? What do we think of that? Obviously, Bobby Maxwell of Team Peña losing that again. Remember me saying that Peña was running away with it. Every time I say that, every single time I say that, Nunes gets one back. And now Nunes has got one back. He's 3-2. Brogan on the flyweights. Good choice, buddy. Good choice, Oliveira. Good choice. I remember her name from last episode is my favourite for the flyweights. I can't remember her name now. But yeah, definitely that girl I fought in the last episode. Definitely one to watch because she was very good. Dominating performance. But yeah, as I said, Perez picking up the win. The first round finish. The first finish on the show. We've had decisions. We've had a finish. As I said, we had a finish. As I said, it's 3-2 now in the series. I did every single time I say that Peña's running away with it. Nunes gets one back. What's your thoughts, Oliveira? Do you have a favourite of the show? Or, what do you think of Usman? Do you think Usman can go all the way in his brother's footsteps? To be fair, mate, as I said before, Perez is a dark horse in this show, man. I tell you, proper dark horse. But as I said, Nunes gets the win. Again, she was very happy with the win. She has control of the next heavyweight fight. So let me just break this down for you. I may not have mentioned in the previous episodes. So, the last episode, Peña won the flyweights. And this was a heavyweight fight. So Nunes is control of the next heavyweight pick. Because Peña won the last flyweight bout, Peña is in control of the next flyweight bout. Okay, if that makes sense. Again, if it doesn't, let me know in the comments. All right. So the next fight is these two here, which I will get onto in a second, which is Claire Gethrin against Juliana Miller. And let me tell you, these two have already fought. Okay? And Claire got the win against Juliana. So, how's this one going to play out here? Okay? How is this one going to play out? Again, Oliveira, if you've been watching it, let me know if you've seen any of these in training. What's your thoughts? Again, these two have already fought. We've got there on the left, well, my left. Team Peña's Claire and Team Nunes's Juliana Miller. And as I mentioned, Claire got the win first. Who's going to win this? Again, I'm going to go through the questions that I asked myself. That I always ask myself. Again, if you have your thoughts on how, if you've been watching the show, Oliveira, who do you think has the better, strongest team? And who do you think is going to win the show coach-wise? Because I honestly think that Peña's going to run away with it. I've said this. Peña's a very good coach. Nunes, better fighter. But Peña's a very good coach. Very vocal in the corner. If you do watch it on fire, please let me know. Do you see Nunes shouting in the corner? I don't. Every single fight, I hear Peña. Every single fight. Israel, welcome in, buddy. And he's rocking with Brogan as well. Yeah, very good fight. She had on the opener. Very good fight. Don't get me wrong. Mixed it up very well. I really can't remember that girl's name now. I really can't. I wish I could remember it. But yeah, it was and Mr. Brown, welcome in, buddy. So I'm going with Brogan to win it as well. Hands down. Nice one, Mr. Brown. Welcome in, buddy. I can't remember her name. It's bugging me now. It's bugging me. She in the last episode, she was coming last replacement for Peña. Really can't remember her name, but yeah, she was very good, honestly. Yeah, dominant performance that she had. But that's the next fight that we have up there. Let's just get rid of that for you. Let's jump back to the main screen for you guys. Again, as I said, I do think that Peña has the stronger team, and I think she will win the show. Will she win the fight? As I mentioned last episode, I don't think so. But as I said, let's dive back into what I said at the start of the show about Catherine moaning about Nunes' tactics going into this fight. What do we think of that? Like, moaning about the tactics. Again, I can understand when Catherine's coming from, because if you're trying to avoid takedowns, you don't throw kicks. I understand that. You don't throw knees, again. But if you're telling the fighter not to do things, then, again, it could discourage them. Like, I don't understand telling the fighter not to do certain things. Because you're a fighter, you want to mix it up. You want to do this, you want to do that. And she even come out and said at the end of it, saying that she felt scared to throw these like strikes, throwing the knees, throwing the kicks. I don't understand it myself. But again, let me know your thoughts. Oliveira saying, I think Peña is the best coach. Puig will win heavyweight. Ooh, true. Heavyweight. Brogan will win flyweight. Unfortunately, here in Brazil, I can't watch it too much. Oh, shame from Brazil. Brazil. Welcome in, buddy. Yeah, exactly. Israel saying Peña is loud, and she is very loud, mate. I tell you, she gets involved in even in dialing in the training sessions as well. Very vocal in there as well, dialing in on the techniques and things like that. Nunes, yeah, she gets into the techniques, but not dialed in as Peña does. Was it Chantel? Yes, no, that was the one that left the show, buddy. That was the one that left. You're gonna have to find it for me. JK or Sai, please, while I'm here, thank you. You could be my moderator and check for me. I really can't remember her name. She won it last. I'll probably have the image of it in here, but I don't want to lag the stream. But yeah, definitely for me, the flyweight winner would be the winner of the last episode. It's pissing me off now. I can't remember her name. But yeah, I agree with you, Oliveira, and I agree with you, Israel, as well. No, that's who's fighting now. That's who's fighting in the next one. Sorry. Claire's fighting in the next one. Do I have any more questions for myself? I've said, yep. Again, I know you've said, Oliveira said, I think this should be trained with every single fighter. If Catherine doesn't throw kicks to avoid takedowns, should throw uppercuts. Mate, 100%. That's what I mean. You've got to stop the takedown. Well, like... The perfect example for that is obviously the Derek Lewis versus Curtis Razor Blades. Curtis Razor Blades is known for his takedowns, and Derek Lewis is known for his knockout power. Like, Derek Lewis ain't that great on the ground. He's good at getting back up, but not on the ground. He's not as athletic as Curtis Razor Blades. And what did he land him? He landed a shovel. He landed a big shovel. Stop that takedown. That's what I mean. You can't tell fighters not to throw strikes, in my opinion. You can't tell them. They've got to fight their fight. You've got to tell your fighter how to fight their fight, how they want to win, not tell them about their opponent's tactics. You can't tell your fighter do things. You've got to dial in on their tactics and not worry about your opponent. You don't worry about your opponent. You worry about your fighter. But great questions. Thank you, guys. That's all I've got time for, really. Unless in the last couple of seconds we've got some questions coming in. It's really bugging me about that. I can't remember her name now. It's really bugging me. I deleted it earlier. I can't remember it. But yes. Yes, thank you, Mr. Brown. Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Thank you, buddy. Laura Grado. Yes, watch out for her. She may win the flyweights for me. That's who I think is going to win the flyweights. Thank you very much for that, Mr. Brown. It was bugging me. But yeah, I think she will win the flyweights for me. And heavyweights, to win the show, I think Perez could win the show. But my personal opinion, I want Usman to win. Just because of the story behind him. Story behind Usman. And imagine Usman winning the show. How great would that be? Like, his brother being the welterweight champion. And then Usman coming in, his brother Usman coming in, like Muhammad Usman coming in and winning the Ultimate Fighter. Wouldn't that be crazy? Oliveira saying, I think kickboxing and will always be do that to avoid getting a good kicker, box him. If you're avoiding a good boxer, outstrike him with kicks. Shouldn't have done. Yeah, exactly, mate. There's ways around these things. Like, Nunes is accomplished enough, and she has the know-how of doing these things. I don't understand why. Like, I'm just going to repeat myself so many times, but you can't do that. Yes, thank you for that, Mr. Brown. Laura Grado. Definitely, I think she will win the flyweights. Israel saying she's a dog, she plays no games. Yes, 100%. Dominant in her last performance. Takedowns were there. The striking, the jab was there. No bullshit. And that was a last-minute replacement as well. So if she can do that in the last-minute replacement, what's she going to do like the week or so that they have to train for a fight? She was fighting that Minkster Harry, wasn't she? I don't know. I don't know what you mean there, Mr. Brown. You're gonna have to enlighten me. Yeah, Catherine was the one that fought that Laura, and that's what I'm explaining about Catherine moaning about the tactics that she had up against Laura, because Laura just dominated her rounds 1 and 2. Full on dominance. She didn't have an answer for anything. Yeah. We have a watch along back at the weekend. Can't wait. Finally, obviously, we had the week off. It is Rosenstrike versus Volkov, sorry. Or is Harry Minkster? Might be Minkster, mate. Yeah, well said. Sorry. Yeah, but get back to the watch along. We have a watch along at the weekend, so tune in for that. It'll be Rosenstrike, as I said, versus Volkov. Again, interesting fight. I've been seeing some great tapes on Rosenstrike dialing in on some wrestling. So will we see a wrestling approach from Rosenstrike? But again, we will get into that in the breakdown of the watch along. Again, you've been great in the chats. Thank you for your comments. Can't wait for Dixon Sider to fight. Nice, JK. You've been watching some tapes on some of them, yeah? You too, eh? You too. I don't get you too, eh? You too. Trying to... Right, anyway, that's all I've got time for. I will catch you for the watch along with the boys on Saturday. Tune in for us. We got you. But again, that's all I've got time for. Thank you very much for your comments. I'll see you next Tuesday for the next review.